Hello and welcome, this is Mousekinner, and we're back with some more of the Flashpoint DLC for BattleTech. After the last video, I did a little bit of snooping around in the star map, and I noticed that there was a travel contract available, and it is a Canopian contract at 2.5 skulls, so right at the difficulty level we're at the moment. It's decent paying, not as well paying as the last mission we did. It is a battle mission, 12 days away, so it gives us a little bit of time to travel. Islands, so that's not too bad. And who's going to be against? Ooh, extremely heavy mech. It's going to be against pirates, so that's fine. Well, if there is a heavy mech, then that's good for us. So yeah, let's negotiate with this one. I may be willing to go. Okay, unfortunately to get that extra salvage, we have to do that, and I don't want to do that. So we should go 50-50 on this one. If there is a heavy mech, maybe we can get good salvage on it. Who knows? But yeah, we're going to do this one. Get the Canopians to like me a little bit more. We may end up going into Canopian space. I've been holding off on it because at the moment, the only thing we get from them is extra job payout. We're not getting a store discount, so there's not a reason to go into their system just yet. As far as other places I'd like to go, maybe into Merrick space. Really, what I'm looking for is I just want to go into an area that has contracts with a lot of different factions, so we can pick and choose who we want to fight for. So this is where we're going to go. Just let's make sure. So really the only factions in here are the Canopians, Capellans, and the pirates, and obviously the local government. So this may not be the right place to go to as far as that is concerned. I may do it just because it gets me going somewhere, gets me fighting for a faction that already likes me. I don't have to pay for the travel time. But the two places I was thinking about going were over here in Thurrock, Two Skull area, and we have a lot of factions. We've got Merrick itself, we've got the Canopians, we've got Capella, we've got the House Steiner, and we've got pirates. So, and also Merrick doesn't really hate me; they're indifferent. So they will at least be able to give me 3 skull contracts. So if we go in here and we do a job, oh, you know what? Actually, I guess I misread that. The Canopians do give me a discount, because apparently you get a 10% store markup, which the Canopians currently are giving me no markup. So that's good. But in any case, we could move in there. There's a lot of factions, so we could kind of take advantage of that. And it is further away, too, so it gives us more time to recover a little bit. So that's one place I was thinking about going. I was also thinking about going over to Canopian space. Here we don't have as many factions. That's a real problem with Canopian space, is not as many factions are involved. It's mostly House Merrick, the Capellans, and the Canopians themselves. So that really limits who's going to be hiring you. Not really ideal. Whereas this one location in Merrick, that's so many factions, that gives us a lot of possibilities. I feel like I have to, and also puts us kind of in the area of this this mission, if we ever do want to do it. So I kind of am leaning towards that way. Now let's make sure there's no other, I guess this is most zoomed out. Oh, okay, I was about to say, let's make sure there's no other flashpoints. That's another 3.5 skull one. And who's hiring? Who is the shoot. I guess I have to click somewhere else first. Let's click there. So it's against, the Draconis Combine. Okay. That could be a problem, because House Davion is one that we may potentially want to be allies with, because I talked about the trifecta of House Steiner, Davion, and the Canopians, because those are 2 of those already like me. So, but yeah, I think we go to Thurrock. I think that's the right call. We're not getting paid to go there, but if all you do is chase around these travel contracts, you're not going to get anywhere as far as getting your reputation up. So yeah, let's go to Thurrock. It's also got a number of interesting attributes too. Travel cost is quite high, but you know, it gets us where we're going. Or it gets us somewhere cool that we haven't been to before. Let's put it that way.
Calculating course now, Commander.
So, you know, again, we could have taken a mission that we knew what it was going to be. All right, but we're not doing too bad financially speaking. Let's go to the engineering bay, get an upgrade. Okay, so I'm leaning towards just getting this repair thing. because our options are fairly limited unless we do some not repairs, but unless we do some upgrades. Because this we need automation, which is the thing, this thing, so we can't do that. This we need the beta pod, which is going to be this. How much is the beta pod? Kind of expensive. It's almost $1 million. What about this gymnasium? You need the beta pod for that as well. I'm going to guess that's true for all of these. Yeah. And then this also needs a beta pod. So it's pretty much automation. And then we could do the beta pod. That would be the next course of action. Unless we want to do drive systems, which would speed things up a bit. It's kind of cheap if we're worried about that. But having mechs get worked on faster is really good with the tech points. So I really honestly think we do that.
Roger that, Commander. I'll get the crew moving.
Okay. So we got that going. Oh, I should make sure the order of things. Hatchetman being a lower priority is fine. So by the time we get to Thurrock, we'll get both Truck and Gnarly back. Unfortunately, Scarecrow is still out. I really hated that event put so many injuries on him and put him out for so long, because this is the time we need him, is this stage of the game. Once we get heavier mechs, he's going to be less useful with his skill set. So it's kind of unfortunate, but all right, let's go ahead and continue traveling here. As a matter of fact, we'll get this automation done before we have even arrived at our destination. So we'll immediately be able to move into another upgrade. Which I may at that point do the thrusters, because we are doing a lot of traveling around. The warning: while in Repulse, you get a message from the commander of another mercenary company passing through. After some formalities, the message gets straight to the point. My boys tell me you have Truck on your crew. As one commander to another, I need to tell you, Truck is not a good hire. To be blunt, she's a thief and a backstabber, and only common decency had me leave her on a station instead of booting her through the airlock when I finally fired her ass. On a station instead of booting her through the air. Okay, I'm rereading that. I apologize because I scrolled down. Be careful with your crew and keep in mind that a mech warrior with a bad reputation can bring down the reputation of your whole outfit. Truck is very important to me. I'm just going to delete the message. I don't care what this mercenary guy has to say. This is maybe the wrong thing to do, but I don't care. No. Truck is a very valued member of our group. You delete the message and think no more about it. You'll judge Truck's value for yourself. Yeah, see, that's exactly what we should do. All right. Now, this is kind of an expensive trip for me. We have wasted a lot of time, but it's time that we kind of needed to waste. Recovering from that Flashpoint.
Those upgrades you asked for are online, Commander.
Okay, automation is done. Let's go straight into engineering. Okay, so we could go right into this. It's cheap, but it takes a lot of time to do. Drive systems, I think, will probably be fairly important at some point in the future. Getting to from jump point to jump point. I mean, we do have a time limit in this campaign. We still have a lot of time to go, so it's not super crucial. But this is something that will pay dividends later. So yeah, it's between those two things. Getting the mechs ready is going to be a little bit less important here in a little while, because we still have 9 days of travel. By the time we're done with that, the Vindicator's almost done, then the Hatchetman. Yeah, we could get some of our mechs shot up, and then I would feel a little bit bad about it. But I think we go with the thruster upgrade here.
All right, I'll get the team on it right away.
Okay. And then that's almost going to be done by the time we arrive. I mean, it's only a difference of 6 days. So, okay, let's continue. We're going to have a financial report, sadly, which means we're going to have to pay money. I may be willing to do what I need to do to get morale up. Because we're not really hurting for money
Financial report for you, Commander.
by any means. I feel like I can afford a little bit of generosity. We are up to 33 morale, so that's pretty good. Okay. Let's continue. We're almost there. And Gnarly's going to come back, which is good. What we really need is we need the cockpit slots to protect our pilots. That's the one thing we're really lacking, and it's going to cause us issues. Because head-to-hits can crop up at annoying times, and obviously they have some pretty heavy impacts on your crew. But that's the whole reason of why you have as many crew members as you have. Fire stops by your quarters to recite an invitation. On behalf of our barracks denizens, I am formally charged with requesting your attendance to an assembly of the mech warriors in the lounge this evening. Libations will be consumed alongside a screening of the recent Solaris Championship. A less official tone, Darius adds, Toxic managed to pick up an official holovid somehow. I expect that our mech warriors are going to watch the fight and get very, very drunk. Well, we're going to accept for morale's sake. Fortunately, Toxic is not a gladiator, so we can't do that particular thing. He's become a drunk, though. That's unfortunate. Not one of our main pilots, but a backup pilot, so hopefully that's not going to be a further problem. As you arrive in the lounge, you catch Promenade in mid-complaint. Come on, we all know it's going to be Norton again. It's never not Norton. Toxic elbows her to stop and nods to you. We're just about to get started, Commander. Take any seat. The Solaris Championship is about as one-sided as expected, but the real highlight of the evening occurs when Toxic drunkenly explains exactly how he would have beaten Gray Norton in a one-on-one duel. You get morale. Unfortunately, he's become a drunk. Now, that's one of those things that, I mean, if we look at the mech warriors, it's not going to impact his skills as a mech warrior, but it is going to have things with more pop-ups are going to come out of this. So we'll see. All right, let's commence until we get to our destination at the very least.
We've entered orbit, Commander. We've arrived at our destination, Commander.
Guess we might as well visit the store. Oh, wow. Well, this isn't too surprising. House Merrick does have a lot of manufacturing capability, but as we can see here, that is a lot of mech parts. Nothing, I mean, we could get a Wolverine out of it if we wanted. But nothing like super exciting, but there was a time when this would have been more exciting, when we were desperate for medium mechs. We're not really at that point anymore. Okay, see, that's not too exciting. Flamers with damage up. Oh, extra heat damage. That could be good. So normally it's 10 heat. Yeah, that could be devastating if you had a number of those. I don't have that many flamers, so... And I don't really put my trust too much in those because they're not really good from an endurance standpoint. If you have a bunch of fire starters and a shorter engagement, it can be a lot of fun. The problem is if you only have one, that's usually not enough, unless it's like a desert climate, and even then, sometimes it's not enough. And the way that they do flamers in this game, where you have a limited ammunition, you just don't have the endurance to keep it up. So, yeah. Not really my preferred way of fighting. I prefer to use small lasers, for example. This is tempting. The small laser with the damage upgrade is also tempting. Extra melee damage, also very tempting. There's a lot of, a lot of cool stuff here. But I guess that's the benefit of going into a inner sphere location. A little bit more industry, technology, what have you. Another reason why it was probably a better idea to come here. I'm going to pick this up because it's nice and cheap. We have possible capacity to use this kind of thing in the future. Plenty of mechs that could benefit from that. The other 20 is tempting. But it's not a damage upgrade, which would be more tempting. I think out of the bunch... Well, that's too expensive. We couldn't buy it even if we wanted to. This costs a ton, though, so I don't know. I don't know if that's worth it. That was the main thing, the small laser, and then there was... Flamers are pretty decent. But other than that, yeah. Not used to seeing all this stuff. Curious what we would see in this tab. I'm guessing you'd see this if you were allied. Because one of the things I saw here is that there was a... how did they call that? It was a... I'm trying to find it. They do kind of change the order here. Merrick Headquarters is what it's called. But more or less, if you are allied to Merrick, you would have, I think, access to that extra tab, is what this is saying. So this is something I'm going to have to look out for in the future, now that I know it's a thing. Now, the question is, we're close to being allied to the Canopians. Do they have... Yeah, okay. They would have one right here. A headquarters here. I would imagine being allied to the House of Merrick would probably be more valuable than being allied to the Canopians because, well, it's House Merrick. The main house of manufacturing stuff. So, you know, they're probably the place where you can get a lot of goods. That would make sense anyway. All right, let's take a look at the contracts in here. There's a reason, another reason why we traveled here. And that is to see what kind of jobs there are here. Okay. So the Canopian one and the Pyro one we can't do. So no surprise, the Steiner one's going to be against House Merrick. This is against Capellan, so I have no qualms taking it. And this is against the Capellans. So we have two jobs where we can take advantage of the Capellans. All right. Looks like the Capellans are definitely going to be our enemies in this playthrough. This is kind of an easy mission. Recovery mission. I may do this one first just to get it out of the way. Yeah. Well, let's read it. So it's a payroll seizure. Okay. So this is going to be for the Canopians against the Capellans. I think this will work out because we will have one mission that will make the House of Merrick not like me as much, but we'll balance it that with the one that will make them like me a little bit. It may be more in the favor of lost. We might lose more than we gain. This is a greater skull contract, and I think that kind of works that way. Maybe we can confirm that here in a second. So we would gain 8, lose 7. Gain 6, lose 5. I think that, yeah, I'm right on that. That the skull level of the mission is going to correspond with how it affects your reputation. And a contract like this, 1.5 skull, I don't really care about the salvage. So I'm going to even drop that down a bit. I mean, I'd like to have maybe one choice. The other thing I think is interesting is as you don't take pay, it makes the other side hate you even more. I find that funny. Like, how would they even know? Maybe it is, yeah, I guess the Mercenary Review Board does maybe broadcast what the contracts are, perhaps. All right, well, in any case, we are going to need... Oh, you know what? I'm getting ahead of myself. We need to go into the Mech Warriors, make sure we level people up. Okay, well, Gnarly's back. And yeah, definitely something I keep forgetting to do with Gnarly is use this coolant vent. We really need to be more on that. At least I need to be more on that. I do want to take this ability because I think it'd be useful. And I'm also going to take that. We'll kind of split it like that. Yeah, all right. Sure.
Training confirmed, Commander.
We're still having to use Revere. Which I'm a little sad about. All right, we don't have enough experience for me to use.
Commander?
Waiting for orders.
Yeah, you're still not getting experience, so you're not going to unless I use the admissions. You know what? This is easy enough. We'll have Promenade do it. So I'm not going to level up Revere. Yeah, you know, the more I think about it, 1.5 skull mission. Should we risk our more experienced pilots in this mission? We really shouldn't, right?
Commander.
So this should be something we use
Waiting for orders.
somebody like Strix and Promenade. Strix, Promenade, and maybe Mothman, just because we want to see a little bit more experience in her.
Standing
Alright,
by.
so let's see what we can do with her. I'm going to take the accuracy. Yeah, let's do that.
Training complete.
Promenade doesn't have any experience, so there's nothing to buy with her. And then, at the moment, Strix is a blank slate. But I think the obvious thing here is to get her up in accuracy. Then a little bit in guts, perhaps. So she's going to kind of suck, but that's okay. I mean, we're going to be way overqualified for this mission, so that's fine. I'm going to have my pilot still get involved in this mission. That will be the one experienced pilot we put into this. But otherwise, we'll use mostly inexperienced pilots. Because I don't want to take an injury on one of my more skilled pilots and then have to deal with that. So,
Ready for orders.
we do finally have that too. That's exciting. Alright, now we can do the contract. So it's going to be the payroll seizure, negotiate. We're going to take more payment rather than salvage, because I don't think the salvage is going to be good at this difficulty level. Accept. Alright, so obviously we're going to be getting rid of... no, that's not true. Mothman is going to stick around. Let's remove some of these mechs until I decide exactly what I'm going to do here. Here, goodbye. Promenade, hello? Jenner is probably fine for you. Okay, so in the grand scheme of things, the Shadowhawk is going to be better than the Griffin. So I'm going to go ahead and move the Shadowhawk in. Mothman is going to be my port mech pilot. So the Trebuchet makes sense in that regard. Alright, so the Griffin is going to be the better firepower solution at 920. But what do we have durability-wise? Okay, the Hunchback is only 880. Vindicator is 760. The other Vindicator is 680. The Hatchment's still being worked on, so that's not going to be used in this mission. This is the kind of mission I would use the Hatchment in, but nah, not in the cards right now. Well, in my mind, the Griffin is the better choice here, but does that suit the skills of the pilots that I have? And I'm going to say no on that regard, so... I'm thinking the Vindicator is the right one for this job. Matter of fact, I want to move this around a little bit because we're doing this in order of maneuverability, and Trebuchet is going to have more maneuverability than the Vindicator, although it's close. Trix going to go in there. I think the Vindicator is going to be a little less of a liability with an inexperienced pilot like that, because if we get close enough, those small lasers are going to be very accurate regardless of what pilot's in there. All right, let's go ahead and deploy. I think we have everything set up. I'm just trying to make sure I haven't made any mistakes somewhere. Looks like we're good to go. All right, here we go.
Command interface initiated.
I'm getting updated intel from our employer. They believe the base is going to be even more heavily defended than we thought. We need to move up and get a look at the base, so we can see what kind of firepower we're facing. Alright, I don't see... Once we grab the payroll, the Leopard will extract us at this LZ. Well, that's not very far away from the point. Good hunting, Commander. Olivier out. Alright, let's get going. And we'll just jump forward. The Strix doesn't really have any abilities, so I have to keep that in mind as I'm using her. I don't see a problem sprinting with the Trebuchet in behind the hill here.
Acknowledged.
Just as well as I don't see a problem sprinting forward with the Shadowhawk. Yeah, that's fine. I'm going to sprint in a slightly different direction. For the Jenner. I'll be a little on the aggressive side.
I read you, Commander.
Although at this weight class, we could probably expect quite a few light mechs. So we may need to use her sensor lock ability quite a bit. Alright. Jump up here.
Time to earn our money.
We have contacts. I'm going to switch to my pilot because I think I can get in where I need to go more easily. I'm going to jump.
Engaging jump jets.
Okay. That's fairly far away, so I think I'm alright in sprinting here.
Affirmative.
Again, I want to take this from a different angle in case the enemy is somewhere else. So, an angle like that.
Don't need to tell me twice.
I don't want to get surprised again. I think there was a time where enemies were coming at me from an angle I didn't... Okay. We do have a light mech there, perhaps. Although we don't have the intel we used to have, because we don't have as good of a tactician.
Holding action, Commander.
At this stage, we're just going to go ahead and reserve, because they're not likely going to get vision on me. Okay. At least one heavy vehicle here. Alright, doesn't seem like there's anything else.
Standing by.
I honestly don't know what to expect here.
Waiting for orders.
Let's get a jump in here, because I want to get vision on both of these guys. I don't have multi-target, so I'm going to have to pick one to attack, but... Okay. We got a Locust 1S. Looks like they're at half armor as well. Let's go ahead and take the Striker out, as it's the more threatening thing. Okay, we still got the kill. I'm just somewhat surprised at that.
Knocked out a vehicle.
Alright.
Orders.
Let's see if the Vindicator can get in. Do anything cool. Well, you're going to be the one that's least likely to actually hit anything,
Ready
aren't
for
you?
orders.
I guess we can go up the hill like that. That's a terrible shot, isn't it? Well, that's as close as we can get this turn. Do we take the precision strike and try and use that? I mean, I guess we will. I almost kind of wonder if this is a waste of ammo. To fire at a... Yeah, even with a precision strike, that's a terrible shot. So I'm just going to take the single attack, and I'm going to turn off the lesser accuracy.
Engaging.
We don't want to burn through ammo unnecessarily, and getting a 40% even with a precision strike is kind of a waste.
Standing by.
Alright. You're going to jump in here. I don't have a lot of faith that you're going to get hitting anything. But we could always follow that up with whatever the Shadowhawk can do. Do we use his precision strike here? No. I mean, this Locust is dead for sure.
Taking a critical hit.
As I'm going to super kill it right now. Jump in aggressively.
Engaging jump jets.
And murder the crap out of it. I'm gonna use a precision strike, because why not? I mean, the main reason why not is to save it for later. Let's just go straight left torso here.
Engaging target.
This is way overkill, unless we are very inaccurate. Yeah, we hit that so hard, it blew through the center torso and went through the other side and blew up the left torso. There was not... the only thing that lived through that was the right leg. Alright, Well, honestly, this is actually a good point to go ahead and put a cut in the video, so I hope you guys have enjoyed. This is Mouse Gunner, signing out.